Trek for Saturday night. All right. So, bet you got lots of questions tonight, don't you? And we got some answers too. I came loaded and ready to go. All right. There might be a J lurking around the corner. You never know.
Hello, Tressa.
And there he is, my friends.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, so I wanted to read publicly all the donors from this week. All right. So we now have donors on Zelle, PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. Thank you kindly. All right. So Marcus, Carol, Teresa, Dan Trell, Elizabeth, Donna, Shelley, Judy, Terry, Wired for Vibrant, Deborah, Kyla, Brenda, Linda, Kelly, Richard, Janet, Karen, Deborah, Teresa, Janice, Diane, Lisa, John, Joni, or Johnny, sorry. I can't read my own writing. Lori, Kenna, Christy, Linda, Kirsten, and Donna. Thank you so much. And I put in the house what you did, but I can bring it up. Let's see here. Thank you to Angel and Trudy for getting that for us. I put it in the house. Okay, so here we go. All right.
That's so awesome.
So, an air conditioning repair, car repair, a rental situation, a storage unit, utility payment, and also I don't think I reported on this stat that I did a intervention and a negotiation, and my favorite, the medical stuff. And we called, and I was able to write a letter to the hospital. So now I need to take the next step with that, but also called the ambulance company, and they did not have the power to forgive because it's insurance related. And so I said, well, how low can you get this payment? And she said, well, how about $15 a month? I said, that'll work for us. And then I said, and how about a deferred for a month? And she goes, we can do that. And so he may never have to pay it again. All right. Awesome. And then resolved by negotiations 3. If you include mine, it would be 4. And so they're still working on, still in negotiations, a couple, and we're still paying people out as we speak. All right. So I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Amazing. Okay. Now, did you know?
I look the other way. There you go.
Where are you?
Right there.
Did you know that I've been talking to the white hats? Thank you kindly. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, they did tell me there's some things they didn't want me to share, but I know I can share this part because they did it in front of everybody, right? So remember last time in our last episode of White Hat Talks, I said, would you guys please give me a nod because I feel very isolated over here and I would really appreciate it if you would just do something. And so what they do, they did the military plane call sign. Yep. Trek 01 and then Trek 101, and they mean something different. Trek 01 is Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans I have for you. Yeah. And they were quoting me because they know I always say, is that the coolest? All right. And then it's been a little while since they did that. And so I said, I was talking to Sky Angel and I said, let's do an experiment. Let's ask tonight for Trek 02. Okay. And so let's see what happens tomorrow. So tomorrow morning we get Trek 01 again. I go, oh well. I mean, at least, maybe they can't do 02 because of the coordinates or something. I don't know. Maybe that's okay. And then later in the day, Trek 02 arriving from DC to Texas. Oh my gosh. And then the two of them fly tandem back out. Oh my gosh, if that wasn't the coolest. Oh yeah, that made me pretty happy. And I had also asked a question before that, something I can't remember what it was, but are you talking to me, or can we talk, or something like that? And they said flyover statements. Flyover statements, and then they go put the jets in the air. Oh my gosh, I just love that. And when you do the gematria on flyover statements, Yellow Rosa, Texas. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, all right. Now, the Trump speech. All right, so people were like, oh man, I thought he was going to say my fellow Americans. I thought, it was going to be different. And the thing is, he did. He gave us everything we wanted. He said everything we were hoping he would say, but he said it in gematria, in code, and you had to go do your homework, right? And we had somebody to do the homework. And so what we have is quite a bit here. He said there's never been anything like this, and that is 356, which is the message that will change your life. He said $39 million equals 307, which is nothing can stop what is coming. Okay, and then you are the second coming, which means I love you very much. He had 34 guilty counts, which is, my fellow Americans, that was a statement. He was making a statement to us. So it's just, imminent. I know everybody hates that word. I probably started that word and now everybody hates it. I'm so sorry, but it is right around the corner.
Yeah.
All right. And then let's see, what is this one? Q drop 187 talks about how our money is now becoming worthless. And he mentioned 187 in his speech about the gasoline price. All right. So he's predicting the crash. All right. Okay. All right. So I think that's about it for now, but he's never just saying the same old, never. You have to get it. You have to look it up. And my friend who does gematria for me, she listens to me speak, and then she'll go, she's really intuitive. She's a seer, a mystic. And so she'll go, oh, I'm going to look that up. I just feel like I need to look that up. And she did one on Trump. President Trump raised $52.8 million for his court appeal. Q alert drop 528 should bring comfort to everyone. Another direct comm. We are okay and in very good hands. Everything is going according to plan. We are almost there. All right. Okay. So never question. The white hats are in control. Gematria for the storm is upon us is final countdown. Time to show the world EAS.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So I wanted to mention, we're working on Trek Tribe t-shirts. And so she decided to look that up. Trek t-shirt. God's anointing, message from God. We are not alone. Divine presence, time traveler. And then I guess I said, uh-oh, there goes my internet. Okay, I'm back. All right.
All right.
I guess I said Teresa says wow on one of my shows, and she looked it up. It means moving forward and upward, calm before the storm. I will not quit ever. Who hears the voice of God? Is that the coolest? for anybody that's afraid of numbers, you're afraid of God's system. He speaks by code. You can't, just say, I don't do that. All righty then. So it's a lot of fun, isn't it? I mean, to live in this age, where
it's the best time to be alive.
It is. It is. All right. So tonight we're going to have a return. The return of the docs.
Do, do, do.
All right. So they're going to come and give us more information of how you can get relief now.
Yep.
And then Tuesday, we're going to have Dr. Kelly, who we have not seen yet. And she is fully loaded. All righty then. Here we go.
All right.
Dr. Crystal and Dr. Mom.
Hi.
Hey, welcome back.
Thanks. Hi. Glad to be back.
Okay, so Dr. Mom, are we going to come out with your name now? And I need you to explain. People are confused. They thought you lived in East Texas, and then they get a contact from Arkansas, and they're like, is this a scam?
Right.
No, I am a native Texan living in Arkansas. I am from East Texas, and I am living in Arkansas.
All right. Okay.
But I was born and raised in East Texas.
And you're still loyal, right?
I'm a native Texan. Like I said, I'm a Texan living in Arkansas. I never forget that I'm Texan.
Right.
That's my country. That's my sub-country.
That's it, right? All right, cool. All righty then. So if you guys have a plan, just take it away.
Okay. I'm going to start first and just kind of explain a little bit about what natural health means to me and why I pursued it in the first place. Because I come from a medical background as a nurse, and I was married to a medical doctor who's very open-minded about natural health. Thank goodness. But anyway, natural health is it's what we were meant to do. This is what God did for us all the way from the garden, which there was no disease or, anything at that time until the fall. But still all that knowledge was there, using essential oils and aromatherapy, using your diet to make you healthy, and herbs, and everything was provided to us on this earth by God to be able to treat our illnesses, our weaknesses, our pain. It is, so frustrating when people go, that's old news, or that's new age even, and we don't believe in all of that. And I'm like, well, why not? God put it here for us to do, and then we need to get back to it, because what's happening now is not beneficial to anybody. I'm not talking about surgeries and things like that you absolutely need to go to a doctor for. I'm talking about just living a healthy lifestyle. And what that means is our bodies are the best when we are in homeostasis. That word just means everything is balanced in our bodies and working optimally and warding off dis-ease naturally. We don't live in a bubble, though, so homeostasis gets a little out of balance. We get out of balance. Diet is a big deal. Diet, and what here in America they call as food, which isn't really food, takes us out of homeostasis. So our goal in natural medicine is to put people back into homeostasis, where their organs and cells, all the way down to DNA and mitochondria, are working in their optimal frequencies to keep us in balance, to help our bodies ward off and fight off dis-ease, and we live the healthiest life that we possibly can. So that's where we, us as natural doctors, come into play, because we have studied what foods are helpful, Not all food is the same for everybody. And what herbs and how they react in the bodies and what they were meant to do is same with essential oils and homeopathic remedies. All these things we learn about, massage therapy, energy work, helps us to bring a person into a more healthy state of living, more in homeostasis. So I know we throw that word out there, and if people are confused about it, all it really means is being well. Your body is working the way it's supposed to keep you well, to work your immune system, and everything. So that's our goal, is we try to keep people in that state all the time. And that's where our bioresonance scans come in handy, because not only do we see what's out of balance, we can also send frequencies back to balance out those organs or cells or whatever needs to be balanced back into a more efficient role. And then also the homeopathic remedy that we send out with those same frequencies for that specific person will also prolong and keep that body working. It changes every time we do a biofeedback scan, though. So, you know, that's just something that happens because we don't live in a bubble. Yeah, Dr. Mom, would you like to step in?
Yeah, that's great. I like the way you explain that. And so I think, and as my background is the same as Dr. Crystal, as a nurse and then coming as a doctor of natural medicine or a doctor of sacred medicine, I can look at it as we have been trained by our medical culture to say that we're sick and we have to have something, a pill. We have to have something. And we only think that's the only way that we're going to get healed. And so we've just been programmed that way. And so what I see a lot in natural health, and people want, okay, I don't want to go with allopathic medicine. I want to get into natural. So they just go over and they start doing what they did with medicine with supplements. Well, let me get this supplement and that supplement. They're treating it the same way as what we did with antibiotics or whatever else the doctor gave us. And so sometimes I thought tonight might be a good time to talk about this, because we never talk about it, is go down to the basics of what natural health is and the way your body is designed to work, because it is so simple that you disregard it. You don't think that it is relevant. And so we think, oh, the doctor needs to give me some medicine, or, oh, I need to be able to go get this supplement and this or this. This is what's going to make me well. But we've got to take it a step down and go back to the basics and look at what we've got to do. So tonight, I just wanted to educate people. As Dr. Crystal said, even from the garden, as God made us, we're fearfully and wonderfully made. Our body is made to heal itself. And we have gotten in the way with our environment, our toxicities, our toxins, our food. As we know, we could all sit here and talk another hour on how they made us sick.
Yes.
But we're going to talk about how to get back to health. But we've got to reprogram our thinking. We've got to get out of the mode, well, give me this supplement. Give me this, give me that. Let's go back to the very basics of what natural health is. And I went and I grabbed a book from school and on natural health. And I just want to read some things real quick. Hang on, I got to find it. It says naturopathy is the mother, all-inclusive of natural therapy. It is the basic platform for all healing. Without any healing, art will be a failure. Naturopathy is the only healing system that is not a cult. It's not a fanatical, narrow creed, nor a system controlled by one man, one or another group. It is the science of nature, the biological way of living right, the natural way to cure. And then hold on, I want to show you one more thing. Naturopathic doctors do not prescribe treatments for disease. They educate and inform their clients about natural health and some of the options of which they know. So let's look at naturopathy is the philosophy of art and science and recognizes the body's inherent processes of healing and that acts in no way to suppress, antagonize, or hinder those vital life forces, but rather to arouse, assist, and cooperate with the body to the restoration of normal. To this end, naturopathy proceeds as follows. It makes use of the healing properties. And this is what I basically want to talk about, because we discount these healing properties. Everybody they ignore it. We've been taught that's just too simple. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free, so it must not matter. So let's look at these healing properties that we know in natural health has a big impact on our health. So such natural properties such as air, just air. How many times do you air out your house? When I was younger, we always aired out the house. Okay? Air, sunshine. We need sunshine. You're an electrical being. You need sunshine. Make that vitamin D. Water. Good, healthy water. What about light? Just light. You think that goes with the sunshine, but light. We need heat. Heat can be used to heal us. Electricity. We're talking about a bioelectricity. Manipulations. Maneuvering, like Dr. Crystal said on massage therapy, chiropractic care, manipulating those systems back into place so that they are not in malfunction. Now, this is a big one that we don't like until our body forces us to do it, and that's rest. Like, we will go till we drop, and then we'll say, well, I guess I got to rest now. But if we incorporated that on a more routine basis and we thought about how important rest is, if we were taught you need that rest to heal your body, but we don't talk about that. We just keep pushing. What about natural, vital foods? Foods that are real, foods that have the nutrition that you need in it. It's got a life force in it. It's not dead food. It's a squash. That's a squash. It's not GMO. It's just a squash. Or tomato. It stores up from the sunshine energy. The food has energy in it. Okay. What about organic vitamins? Organic vitamins, natural vitamins. How about organic minerals? How about herbs in conjunction with cleansing and eliminating processes of other physical and mental cultures? So naturopathy does not make use of synthetic or inorganic vitamins or minerals or drugs or narcotics or surgery or serums or vaccines or antitoxins, injections, or inoculations. Naturopathy also provides for the prevention of disease and the perseverance of health by teaching. Dr. Crystal and I, we do a lot of teaching the basic fundamental laws of natural living and the application of that to daily life. And again, I'm going to say it again, the application of that in daily life, not when you're sick. We have got to learn to do these things, which we have been untaught and told those things don't matter. They're too simple. That's crazy. I mean, sunshine's not going to heal you. Going outside and getting in some fresh air, that's not gonna do it. So we've got to unlearn some things that we've been taught by medicine to look for a drug. And then, I hate to say it, in natural health care, let's go get the newest supplement. So we've got to go back to basics, but a lot of time people do not know what the basics are. So tonight we want to talk to you. This is the basics. It doesn't cost you any money, much, or, unless you go buy the vitamins and the minerals, or the herbs. But herbs, again, when you talk about herbs, all that is food. An herb is a food. I use a tincture of a natural, I love the brand, but I love it. But they don't even classify themselves, the company, they say it's food. It's food. And that's the way we need to think of it. An animal, when it's out in the pasture, yep, there you go, Dr. Crystal. Pure herbs, yeah.
One of them.
Yeah, and it's just food. That's all it is. It's herbs is food. So we've got to go back about these basics and to not show it's just an introduction to you to recognize these things everybody can do. You need to be outside and getting some sunshine. You need to put your feet on the ground and get the grounding. You need to rest daily. You don't need to cut your sleep off at night and just be living on 3 or 4 hours of sleep.
Can I chime in here on that one? So I had my scan, and I have, I need to work on adrenals and gallbladder. And the body clock, the body wants to heal and cleanse those organs at a certain time of night.
Yes,
and
it does.
The very time that those two organs needed to do that, I was not in bed and asleep or even resting. I was up. And my deal is I work so much during the day that when I get to nighttime, I love that quietness where I get my time. But I've got to get that my time in bed, and I have improved by 1 hour. I'm doing better.
Congratulations.
Talk about the proof of the need for rest, because the sleep isn't just for sleep's sake.
No, it's not.
Building and reorganizing, defragging, and all of that of the body's work that it has to do.
Yes, yes. And so, but these are things that we just don't think about as part of our healthcare, and it's all part of our healthcare. But we've been trained, and I'm going to say it again, we've been trained to look for a med, look for a supplement. Let's look for the natural things that God put on the earth to do it, to keep our body in function. But that's what natural health is about. We're teachers. We're going to teach you. We're going to look and see how you're out of balance. And we're going to tell you some things that you probably don't want to hear. Or you will say, golly, that's just too simple. Why did she tell me that? That's just too simple. Well, that simple thing is very, very, very effective. Okay, Dr. Crystal, you got something to say?
Yes, all of that is very effective. And that's why people need to come to trained doctors of sacred medicine, naturopathic doctors, holistic doctors that have had extensive training in supplements and herbal remedies. Because a lot of times people will just get, like Dr. Mom said, the new thing that came out and you saw advertisements on it or keep seeing advertisements on it, but that might not be something that you need to actually be on. So instead of wasting money on buying a bunch of supplements that don't work for you, or you get something that's not a good brand, because that does matter, then you're wasting your money on that. And you could get a more educated take on the supplements or herbal remedies or minerals. From our background, we get all the Chinese herbal remedies. We learn about those. We learn about Western Native American remedies. We learn about Ayurvedic remedies, and they're all different and they all come into a different play, but each one of them can affect people differently. So it's nice to have someone who actually knows, the benefits and the cons to taking a supplement. And maybe you just don't need that, that kind of a thing. And then there's all kinds of different things that do the same thing, and people are taking multiple.
I see that a lot.
Right. Multiple vitamins that are doing the exact same thing, and that's a waste of money. And it could be harmful if you're not careful. Just because it's a supplement sold over the counter does not mean it's safe for everybody to take, especially if you're on prescription medications. If you are on prescription medications, you need to be very careful with herbal remedies and supplements so that you're not counteracting something or taking double of something, and it can be harmful to a person. So that's where we come in, and we could sit down and talk to you and educate you and get you going in the right direction. I'm a minimalist when it comes to supplements.
Me too.
I don't want someone taking 20 different supplements if at all possible, because that's non-compliance right there. People will stop. They'll get tired of taking things. And what if you need to be taking the thing that you stopped taking? So, I try to wean things down and get people on the absolutely important things to help with whatever's going on in their body. And I know Dr. Mom does the same thing, and so does Dr. Kelly. So, going to someone that's great. Chiropractors, they're great. I love to be adjusted and get back in alignment. I don't necessarily buy my supplements from a chiropractor, though. I guess it would depend on how they talk to me about it, but they're not as I don't think they have as much education on that portion of school, whereas doctors of natural medicine are our basic education, all 4 years of the school, is about food, nutrition, and supplements and herbs. And we become master herbalists through the program. So that, talk to people, see where their background is when you're discussing any kind of program or protocol that you need to be on. And I'm not discounting chiropractors. They have some great stuff and have gotten me on some things that I needed to be on before I became a doctor of natural medicine. That really did come in handy for me, because medical doctors, they laugh at you when you say, I want to take this supplement. What do you think about it? And they are like, they don't know. They really don't. They only know what they've been told by a rep, which is not a supplement rep. It's a medical, pharmaceutical rep.
That's selling them the medicine. That's trying to get them to prescribe the medicine. They make money off of it. So that same thing is a lot of times their background's not that way. And a lot of times they'll just say no to your supplements because they'd rather say no to be safe, because they don't know anything about it. They are not the ones to talk to about your supplements. Now, they're going to ask in this day and age, they always ask what supplements you're on. I don't really know what they do with that information, because I don't think they know what to do with that information, but they're going to ask. They know enough to ask nowadays. But if you can't find a doctor of natural medicine, there are other modalities. Find a master herbalist. Mm-hmm. They're trained. They're trained to help you with those. I mean, they're very trained. They may not be as well-rounded in everything as a doctor of natural health, but master herbalists, and we need master herbalists. If there's those out there that are interested, they don't want to go to the doctorate program, but hey, they love herbs. I am not one to I would love to be, but I just don't have enough time of the day to take the walks, to identify the herbs, to go into, and to make the tinctures. And, I just don't have enough time in the day, but I admire those that do. I mean, they're just a wealth of knowledge. And usually just the field of being an herbalist is so broad. I mean, it could take you a lifetime to learn in that area.
And even acupuncturists, if you can't find a doctor of natural medicine, but you do know acupuncturists, they're highly trained in Chinese medicine. So that means herbal remedies as well. So yes, you can find somebody, even if it's not, labeled as a doctor of natural medicine, like Dr. Mom said, doing master herbalists, they're all out there, and acupuncturists and chiropractors. If you feel comfortable with them, and you can't find anybody else, talk to them about it. Ask them why and, all that. So,
and then also, and Dr. Crystal can explain this, I think, better than I, but doctors of Chinese medicine. I mean, the Chinese have they've been using formulations over 3,000 years. They've got it down where we may prescribe one herb or two herbs. When you get theirs, it's a combination of probably 10 or whatever, but that formulation has been in works for thousands of years. And so this is kind of funny. We took one class in school of Chinese medicine, and our doctor is actually from China, and I love the class, but she had such an accent that I had trouble with her, because I'm from the South. I like my draw. It probably went both ways. She probably had trouble with me and I had trouble with her. But her, yeah, but her wealth of knowledge was
Oh my
just
gosh.
so, my goodness. But one of the things I learned, and y'all can laugh at this, I am from the South. We drink iced tea, sweet tea, and we drink it with our meals, and we get refills, and we drink a lot of iced tea. Anything we drink is cold. Well, one of the things that she harped on, and she got into my mind because I started changing things, is that when you eat and you take in your food and it goes into your stomach, then the process of digestion is a process of heat, chemical and heat. What we do is we take that big old gulp of iced tea or probably a whole glass or two, and we drown our digestive fire that's trying to break our food down. And so she had this class of all Americans, most of us. And so she would say, don't drink ice water, don't drink ice, lukewarm, lukewarm. And not much when you eat. Don't drown it. And so that stuck with me so much. And I try to do that now because even if you go to Europe, I lived in Italy for 3 years, and there's no ice in their drinks. It's all lukewarm, room temperature. But if they know you're American, they know they're going to be bringing you ice. So one of the things that we learn is ice cold drinks while you're eating is really not good for your digestion. But going back to Chinese medicine, if you're lucky enough to live in a bigger town that might have a Chinese doctor, highly recommend them. Very effective. Very effective. Okay, Dr. Crystal, you want to tell you more about Chinese medicine?
Well, and also the Chinese herbs that they're in little tea pills, and they're so easy to take, and they're very, very cost effective, very affordable. And there are several formulas that I prescribe or suggest for people to take for different ailments. So I highly recommend a Chinese doctor or someone who is familiar with Chinese herbs. And anybody that wants to ask me, what do I do during flu season? Ask me. I will tell you to take yen chow. It's amazing. And then, there's just all kinds of stuff. So, and yes, our doctor, professor she was hilarious. She's a hilarious lady and hard to understand. I was in person in her class, and I'd have to her office was just down the hallway from the class. So I'd go down there on breaks after and say, okay, what did you mean? I didn't quite get what you said in there. And she'd explain everything. And boy, her whole office pharmacy, I would love to have the herbs that she has, and she'll blend up stuff for you and things. It was amazing to watch her. And she was very, very knowledgeable. So we got a little bit of her knowledge because of her.
A little bit. I wish we could have got more. Yes, yeah. I wish we could have got more. But
I'm sure she learned in China. So
yeah, but again, those as a health modality, and they use the same thing: air, sunshine, heat, cold, all these things that the healing properties that we're talking about, they use within Chinese medicine for 3,000 years. So we're not telling you something that's just right off this new. No, we need to go back. We've been untaught this in America. We need to go back. Well, if you've got a health problem, if you're sick, then let's just go back to basics. Let's look at each one of these healing properties going across your screen. Okay, are we getting fresh air? Are we getting some sunshine every day, 30 minutes?
Dr. Can you address how polluted your indoor air is and why? What is it that makes it so toxic?
Oh, it is so toxic. I mean, I could do a whole class on that. No perfume, no plug-ins, no artificial fragrances. Then you've got your furniture that has got flame retardants. It's got artificial, plastics. It's just, then you have, if you're using your popular cleaning supplies, you've got all of that, that you're cleaning your house with. Golly, Dr. Chris, the carpet.
So not only all those things, that it's staying inside the house because of how now everything is so
Closed up.
tightly closed. So unless you air out your house, you're not getting out those chemicals and those fake things that we're breathing in every day because of the efficiency of the windows and the doors and the air conditioning. I know it's saying air condition, but it's not really conditioning anything. It's just blowing cold air and recycling it through us, unless you have some really expensive, great air filters in your whole house, in the whole system, then that's a little bit different. But what we need to do is be able to just open our windows and doors and, turn on the fans and just let it clear out every week.
Yeah.
Not just once a month or not just once a year. You need to do this quite often. And I know it's hard in the South. It gets super hot and, it's hard to do that. But if you do it at night, it's even better, because you have a little bit of a cooling effect. So, but yes.
Yeah, but we're drowning in toxins and all that kind of thing. I mean, we're just drowning in it. So we can talk about these features of natural health, but maybe a whole show on toxicity. We need to probably talk about what's toxicity and where it's going, because we don't recognize what's so toxic. We just buy it and go.
Right.
I just want to say, think about what you're buying. So if it's a company you've known for years and decades in your whole life, it's Cabal. And so everything in it is toxic. So think about the dishwashing soap that you buy and what color it is. And you're putting your hands in that and your skin is the biggest, it goes right into your skin. I mean, into your body through your skin. I mean, it's really a hazardous situation. Any product that you've known forever, it's a big company, you've got to think about it because it's hurting you, definitely hurting you.
Yeah,
And
it could be a whole class, a whole segment devoted on toxicities and where to look for them.
Your pets.
Your pets, yes.
Them. Yeah.
Yes. But again, this is free. This is not something that's going to cost you a lot of money, but you've got to learn and go back to it and don't discount it. It works. It works. And it makes, now, anytime that natural healing is going to go slower when you're sick. You didn't get sick overnight. You're not going to get well overnight. It's going to take time. And that's where people, they just want their pill and immediate effect. But that's not going to work like that in natural health. We've got to undo the damage.
Yeah, and natural products, cleaning products, do not cost a lot of money.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. And there's a lot of DIY natural things you can do yourself with some essential oils, with just clean ingredients that you can make your own detergent and cleaner that works great. Yes, you could get some really acidic water and clean grease and everything off with just the acidic water. There's certain machines that you can get that to make a cleaning water that is just water out of your tap, run through and made acidic. And then you can, it's not so acidic that's going to hurt your hands or anything, but it's a cleaner. You get, and it's nothing else in it but water. So, I mean, and it's besides the initial cost of getting the acidic water, and it's free, it's just water. So, but yeah, doing DIY detergents, even laundry detergent and hand soap, it's amazing. And
and shampoos, don't discount shampoos, are so toxic. Cosmetics for ladies, ladies, the cosmetics, your lipstick, I mean, it is poison. And I wear it, but I have to get something in the natural if I can, but it's so toxic. So we have to and you can't do this overnight. You just have to start, as you need to replace your dish soap, then get a natural dish soap. Just start slow and start learning and doing that. But this is what we've got to do. We've got to get back to the basics of what you do. It's what grandmas and great grandmas used to tell you. And then there came a time, I'm old enough, I'm 63, so I'm old enough to remember when they started, saying, oh, they don't know. The doctors, oh, don't do what grandma says. They don't really know, but grandma knew, mama knew, they knew. But then they got to a point, they convinced us that allopathic medicine was the only way, and they had all the answers. And we went through, even with people, my parents' age or even my age or stuff, they bought it hook, line, and sinker. I mean, the only way to health would be through them. And that's not really a form of health. It's just managing symptoms. I mean, it really never heals you. So go back to what grandma, great grandma told you. Go back to what's just the basics of natural health. But you can't really come to a doctor like Dr. Crystal, Dr. Kelly, and I without understanding where we're going to come from and what we're going to do. And we're not discounting you when we tell you need to get some sunshine or you need to go out and get some grounding. I mean, that may be new to you. You may be thinking, she's a doctor and telling me to go do this.
Will you explain how the cabal brainwashed us against the sun? Like sunglasses?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, sunscreen because of skin cancer. Sunglasses with UV protection in it, so you're not getting. The sun is so important. And there's this thing in our body called melanin, and that's natural sunscreen. And as long as you're not just baking in the sun and becoming super burnt, the sun is actually so healthy for you. And your body can make like 10,000 IUs of vitamin D in the only area that the sun is hitting, in like 5 minutes. I mean, it's crazy. And doctors are like, oh, that's too much vitamin D. Well, if you're not getting in the sun at all, you need to be taking some supplement of vitamin D3 with K2. But, the natural form of it is actually what our bodies want. That's what we want. It has to be D3. It cannot be D2. Yeah, you can eat all the mushrooms in the world that you want. Your body has to convert that D2 into D3, and then you lose all of it, and it doesn't really work in our bodies. So that's my big thing about vitamin D3. But sunshine first. You just have some of your skin. If we lived in the right part of the world around the equator and we weren't wearing very many clothes, that's the optimal amount of skin that needs to be exposed to the sun to get the appropriate amount of vitamin D going in our bodies. Even here in Texas, we get a lot of sun, but it all depends too on the angle of the sun and how it's penetrating your body. So people up in the northwest, where they're not getting very much sun, they do need to supplement for it, and they don't have as long of a season in the sun as well. So there is a need for supplementing it. But the cabal making us wear sunscreen, and it's bad chemical sunscreen that absorbs and causes all other kinds of problems in our bodies, like cancers. Every time my whole entire life have put on sunscreen, I have gotten such a horrible burn that I just never wear it anymore. I'm like, no. And if I do wear anything, it's going to be a mineral sunscreen that is safe for the body. And it keeps it, like from getting my nose burned or my ears or something like that. But the rest of my body, I pretty much let get in the sun as much as I can. So
also in the morning, if you have trouble sleeping, and if you'll go outside in the morning about 10, maybe 20 minutes in the morning and get direct sunlight on your eye, don't wear glasses that have tint.
Direct or UV protection or UV protection.
No, you want direct sunlight. Just go outside, sit outside and drink some coffee and look around. That yeah,
that helps you wake up.
Birds and do some, some relaxing. But that sunlight that goes to the back of your eye makes your melatonin, sends a signal to the brain and to the body to make the melatonin for your sleep that night. So that morning sunshine will affect your sleep that night. And so also, if you're taking melatonin every night, your body will start not producing it.
Absolutely.
It need. So you really just need to have your sunshine in the morning. It might be a rough couple of days as it starts transitioning over, but sunshine does so many things. And vitamin D is a master hormone in the body. I mean, it boosts our immune system. It fights
It
cancer.
is a hormone. It's not a vitamin. So
No, it's not a vitamin. It's a hormone, but it's a master hormone, and we've got to have it. I mean, we just, yeah. And your immune system will go, I mean, just, you want it to like 60 to 80, on your lab work. The doctor will say, oh, it's your vitamin D level's fine. It's 35. Oh, and I'm sitting here going, what?
No.
35? Well, their readings on their lab at whatever the number, it's in the 30s. Yeah, you will have psychiatric symptoms. You will have depression. You will have all kinds of issues. And the doctor's sitting there telling you, oh, it's fine. No, we need to get it up like the 60 to 80 range. And,
I even go a little further than that. I want you 80 to 150 range.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Studies show that people with those ranges don't get breast or colon cancer.
No.
And their metabolism works. Their
immune system. Your immune system.
Yes, your immune system works. You're sleeping better. You have more energy during the day. Yes,
you lose weight.
Yes. And it's hard to get your vitamin D level up to those levels unless you're supplementing and getting in the sun. Get in the sun, people. Yes, please.
Yeah. But the doctor, if you do vitamin D levels with your doctor, don't argue with him. Just say, well, what is my vitamin D level? And he tells you, oh, it's good. It's 30 to 40. Don't argue. Just go get some sun, get you some vitamin D, and listen to Dr. Crystal and myself. Oh, so I hope y'all are learning something. But these are basic things that will help all of us. Crystal, can you think of something I'm not bringing out, or something you'd like to on the basics of health?
Well, basics of health. When we're talking about supplements, let's just say that, so that you have proper metabolism and sleep and things like that, everybody needs to be on a magnesium supplement or an electrolyte supplement, and everybody needs to be on a vitamin D3 K2 supplement. It's just because in America everybody is deficient in magnesium, especially, and vitamin D3. So let
me stop you right there, just real quick. Magnesium, 95% of the people in America is deficient in magnesium, and magnesium it controls so many bodily functions, and it's so critical for your health. So critical.
Very critical. So, there's so many options for magnesium too. So talking to someone like me or Dr. Mom, you're going to get the right form that absorbs better in your body, and, depending on what we're looking at. So that, basically that, and eating as clean of a diet as you possibly can. I know everybody cannot buy 100% organic products, but there's a list online of the 10 bad or 15 bad fruits and vegetables that you should always eat organically. And then, try to eat as organic as possible, just so you can try to decrease the amount of chemicals and pesticides and things that you're allowing into your body, because you do have to do certain things to detox glyphosate, especially because it just kind of hangs out in your body forever unless you specifically.
It kills your gut microbiome.
Kills it. Yes. Eat clean. Don't use artificial sweeteners. Try not to eat a lot of sugar. Use something natural like honey or maple syrup, stevia, xylitol, erythritol. Those are natural. Those are natural sweeteners that come from plants. So, there are options. The only thing I would caution is if anyone is trying to get pregnant, do not have stevia in your diet. It causes infertility. So, it doesn't cause it forever, only while you're on it. So
it's a form of birth control in third world countries.
Yes, they do. And like I said, it's not forever, but if you're taking it or eating it, you're going to have a harder time getting pregnant. So that's just the one caution of stevia. Otherwise, it's great if you like the taste of it. I prefer xylitol. I like that taste better. But there's monk fruit. There's all kinds of things. So eating clean, making sure you're getting some supplements of magnesium or electrolytes with magnesium in it. Electrolytes are important for hydration, and vitamin D3 and K2. the K2 is very important to take with the D3 for specific reasons, and we can get into that later if you have questions about it. Anything else?
I'm just sitting here trying to run through my mind if there's anything that we left off or
Yeah.
that we could help them with.
Well, what you just said, I think needs to be written down so they can, because it went kind of fast. What you just said,
Okay.
needs to be. If somebody can put it in the chat, so go ahead.
I'll do that right now, Diane.
Okay. So I'm sitting here throwing whatever. It's a broad area. So again, the biggest impact you could have is just to take these baby steps. Don't discredit these areas of natural health. These are free. It works. It will have the biggest impact on your health. You just need to start valuing it and knowing that this is something that you have to have. We've got to retrain our brain. We've got to retrain the way we look at health and our body. And we've got to take better care of our bodies naturally in doing these things. And so, you know, it might require a little teaching. It might require you doing a little reading, but it really will pay off in the long run. It really will pay off. I mean, if you've got I've had a sick child, and instead of keeping them in the house, I go, look, we're going to go outside and sit in the sunshine for a little while and just get some air. And just things like that you think, oh, this is just nothing. I'm not really doing anything. You really are doing a lot, and you need to give yourself credit for it. So learn the basics of what you can do, what you need to do, and just start from there. It's overwhelming. So let's just take baby steps. Let's just learn. Let's apply it. That's a big word. Apply it. Look for opportunities to put this in your routine every day. Go outside, drink your coffee, let that sunshine hit the eyeballs. Just start changing your routine up a little bit. Spend at least 30 minutes in the sunshine every day. I don't know if y'all have a Aldi's where you're at, but Aldi's is really reasonable, and they really push a lot of organics in their food. So shop at Aldi's, look at Aldi's. It's not so expensive as other places about that, but they come from, I think it's a chain from Europe, but they really are big on clean food. So you can get a lot of organics there cheaper. Anything else?
I wanted to mention over-the-counter drugs. So people pop ibuprofen like candy. Mm-hmm. And do you have the statistics on how bad that is? Even aspirin and those type of things.
I don't have statistics on that. I just can tell you Tylenol, acetaminophen is very, very toxic to the liver and can kill someone very easily if they already have a sick liver or if they accidentally take too much of it. It's a terrible thing. Now, if you have a super high fever and you've tried everything else to bring it down and nothing has brought it down, maybe you can take one. You know, I mean, there's some benefit to it, but people are just, because it's over the counter and it's for pain, they're just popping them all the time, and their liver is becoming toxic of it. So I would definitely stay totally away from that. Ibuprofen, why do you have inflammation anyway? Let's get to the root cause of that, and let's get something else that's more effective for inflammation in the body and also safer for the person in the body. It really can wreak havoc on your kidneys, and it also can wreak havoc on your gut. So you have to be very careful with our biome. And if someone already has leaky gut or has a messed up microbiome, acid reflux, all these things, ibuprofen is going to hurt it even more. And then aspirin is, if you had to choose, I would choose an aspirin over the other two if I had nothing else to use. However, they have taken the beauty of white willow bark and taken that one chemical of salicylic acid out of it. Therefore, you have all these other side effects of it. So you have the risk of bleeding, the risk of ulcers in the stomach, you know, as so you have to be careful with that. If you want a natural option, get white willow bark. That will get rid of your headache. That will get rid of your knee pain. But you're not going to have any side effects from it because the whole herb is meant to be taken together. It'll keep you from having the bad side effects that the one chemical has, that is salicylic acid.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, but basically that's why we're here. We want to find out why you're having these problems, why you're having headaches every day. Nobody should have headaches every day. Are you not drinking enough water? Or are you just not getting hydrated enough with the water that you are drinking? You know, these kinds of things. So that is, you know, something that we can help you with as far as determining, okay, if you're having chronic pain, why are you having chronic pain? Okay, what is the better option for you? It may be CBD oil. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe curcumin because it's inflammation, and all that stuff. But yeah, these over-the-counter things that people think are just totally safe to take because they've said, here, take this. They're not safe. They all have underlying issues and cause other problems for people.
Well, I would like to say that I read a long time ago that ibuprofen was not allowed on the market. Because of the danger, and it does cause Alzheimer's and dementia. And so, I mean, why do so many of our loved ones have it? And you know, we're not immune. If we're going to do the same things they did, we're not immune. It should not even be in our lives.
No.
It shouldn't be there, but there's a reason it is there, and we have to, you know, get that stuff out of our lives in order to stop that history, you know.
Right. And yeah, I mean, we can go into a lot of other things that causes Alzheimer's and why, but ibuprofen is one of them. Low cholesterol in your blood, them putting you on the statin medications will cause Alzheimer's. High blood sugar not being managed because your brain uptakes a lot of sugar.
And it causes plaque.
And causes
build up of plaque in the brain.
Yes, because of the inflammation that sugar causes, our bodies send, it's.
And I can tell this to people, if you, sugar is so inflammatory. And so if you change your diet, one of the, you know, we see big abdomens or that extra tire around the middle. You know, it's where insulin resistance going through the roof. Everybody I scan has insulin resistance.
Yes.
Even children. I'm
pretty much on board with that. Everybody in America has insulin resistance.
And so if you just study about keto, low carb diet, or the carnivore diet, that's another option for people. But the inflammatory status of sugar, and I started telling this to my patients as I started teaching, and one lady came in, I'd already treated her, and she had and taught her, and she came in with her sister. And so I was telling her sister about the sugar and about the diet, and she goes, the patient that I'd saw, she goes, now, when she told me this about sugar, I got angry, and I didn't believe her. And she said, so I watched my body when I had sugar. The next day, I could hardly move. I was hurting. She said, I never paid attention to it before. So I'm going to tell you, if you don't change your diet, why don't you just pay attention to when you eat that ice cream or that piece of cake and see how you feel the next day if you're inflamed and if your joints hurt and if you're like moving slow, because it's very inflammatory, inflammatory. So diet has got, you know, we've got too many carbs. It's just, that's a whole nother issue. I do want to say something about the fever when she was addressing the fever. And this is something that grandma and great grandma used to do, and mama. It's that when a child had a fever, or when I was a child that would get 105, 106 fever. I mean, my fever would just go crazy. But
sorry,
that's okay. But fever up to 101, even 102. Let the body do its work. That's what fever is doing. It's killing the bacteria. But people, we've been taught by doctors, oh, you got a fever, you need to take something. Well, you knock the fever out, and that's a natural response of the body to affect your whatever you're fighting in the body. So we want fever. We want a fever. But if you have a child with a high fever, a warm, lukewarm bath with a washcloth, and just, and that'll bring fever down. There's a lot of ways to, there's just a lot of ways. So again, that's just another example how grandma was right. Doctors not so much sometimes on fever, but we want to let that fever do its work.
We do.
Go ahead.
We do want the fever to do its work, but also a lot of times people don't want to cover somebody up with a fever because they don't want the fever to get higher. But we really want, I always have people get in a hot bath, as hot as you can handle it, and drink some hot ginger tea, something hot. We're making it hotter so you sweat it out. Yen chow, I mentioned, is something that makes your body sweat out whatever's going on in your body. So we don't want someone to shiver. So don't shiver, because that'll bring your temperature up higher. We want to sweat it out and then break that fever. And we could do that naturally with the warm bath or a hot bath. A child won't be able to be in a hot bath because they won't like it, but a warm bath, not a cold bath. I've had people say, oh, I did an alcohol rub on the kid because their fever was 102. I'm like, why would you do that? Don't do that. That's terrible. Oh my gosh, you're going to shiver that kid up to a higher temperature, and stuff. And there's other tricks. You could put cool rags on the wrists and the neck to help bring down the temperature, just not on the whole body, something like that.
Yeah. But my point is, we've lost generations that knew how to do these things. We've been untaught. We didn't get that passed down. We're losing that. So we've got to go back and learn these old ways, learn these tricks of what mom and grandma and great grandma knew. We've lost some of that. We've just lost it. Okay.
And don't forget essential oils. I got to put a plug in. Remember the guy that I mentioned came to me, and he was in so much pain, and he had this mangled leg from actually rebuilding the leg in surgery. And he said, I've just decided, I've been in constant pain since 2019, and I've just decided that I'm going to have to live with this the rest of my life. And it's just unbelievable. And so I put the peppermint all over the leg, and I did the spinal fluid hold on the ankle alone. And that's been 3 weeks ago at least, and he's never had any more pain again. Wow. Just that one time and no more pain.
Wow, what amazing.
And essential oils, we didn't talk about it because there's just so many areas, but that is a good doctor mom. And I'm not saying my name. I'm talking about every mom is a doctor. Every mom has to learn how to take care of her family. And so I got that name, Dr. Mom, because when I went to school and I graduated, my kids said, oh man, we got a Dr. Mom. But every mom is a doctor. And so the thing about essential oils is it's a wonderful thing to learn and practice. It's economical, and moms, we can do this with our children. We have good therapeutic effects with it. There's lots of things as a mom that we can do, but yeah, we should have mentioned it more, but there's just so many areas to mention. And but yes, that's a good point.
We want God's medicine, because that's what it is. And the cabal would never let us say that it could do anything, and now we're going to get to do it finally.
Yes. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to it. And just like with insulin resistance or even type 2 diabetes, I mean, you can really resolve this with diet. I mean, it's just amazing what we can do. But again, I still think as many people as I see, even children with insulin resistance, I just have to go back to our food. Our food is poison, and we're just seeing too much of this. When I was a child, you hardly ever heard of diabetes and saw somebody with diabetes. You just didn't. And you saw, when we go to the beach, I'm from Southeast Texas, so we'd go to the beach, you didn't see overweight people. You just did not see it. And then when we changed and we got the seed oils and I remember my grandmother and grandfather had a milk cow. We had homemade butter. We had fresh raw milk. My grandfather, he told my grandmother, well, we're going to go buy a pasteurizer because they said we need it now. So we're going to pasteurize that milk. So my grandmother went and bought a pasteurizer thinking she was doing us good. And when margarine came out, Papa said, well, they say we need to eat this margarine now, so we're going to get rid of the butter. So, they were lied to, they were tricked, and like we have, but now it's coming full circle, going around, get your cow, drink that raw milk, make that butter, and and no seed oils, coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, just going back to the basics. Do that.
Yeah. If man made it, don't eat it. If you recognize the company that you've been buying from, buy a mom and pop, a company from another country. I always try to buy something foreign, like Italian or
well,
yeah.
I say this, but I come from an agricultural, I have farms and ranches. So know your farmer. Know your farmer. Go buy some produce from a farmer. Go find a farmer with a milk cow. Know your farmer. Go buy it from them. And they will tell you how they raised it. They will tell you what you do. And that's local. You'll get better food. And not only that, you will support agriculture because there are serious, faithful young farmers that are out there trying to raise good food for you. And they need all the support we can give them. So know your farmer.
Yeah. One thing I want to say is if you feel like in changing your diet, you're losing something, I want to tell you, you're gaining flavor because real food has more flavor and it'll be a party in your mouth and you'll go, wow, this is so good.
Well, I'll tell you, we raised our own pork. I have not, since I stopped raising my own pork, which I did red wattles, I have not had good pork chops. And then also we raised pasture raised chicken and for years. And then I had to stop and I had to go to the store and buy chicken. It has no flavor. No flavor. It's like, is this chicken? You have to put something with the chicken to give it a good flavor, to give it spice, make it taste good. Yeah. So when you go to grass-fed beef, pasture-raised chicken, pasture-raised pork, and lamb, you're going to see that flavor just explode. It's like, that's what it's supposed to taste like. Raw milk, I'm a big fan of raw milk. Goat milk, cow milk, I'm a big fan.
Wow, awesome. All righty then. So on, just so you know, on Tuesday night when Dr. Kelly comes on, she's going to be doing a Q&A. All right. So we don't want to overwork our doctors. They already did their Q&A. So on Tuesday night, we'll go back to the Q&A. All right. All right. Well, thank you so much. We so appreciate you. I know one person had a question about brands of the vitamin D to buy.
Okay.
I believe in standard process labs, and I know you've got some other brands.
Right. Yeah. For me, when I recommend a brand, it's always after I've spoken with someone, so I know exactly how many I use. I want that person on. I like standard process. I just don't know if their vitamin D has K2 with it or not. Do you know if they do, Tressie?
No, I don't know.
Okay. I'll have to look at that, but there's lots of brands. Thorne is THORNE is a great brand. And they have a liquid that has the D3 and K2 in it, and it's per drop. So you can take up to as many IUs as you want by how many drops you take. And it's in a coconut oil, so you already got your fat to be able to process it the best way. Your body will use it the best way. But there's also several other brands that are very good and clean. So anybody can contact me. I think they're putting my contact information up there, and I can talk, just do a quick little question and answer about what their goal is and if they know their blood vitamin D level, and then I can get them on the right one.
I would like to say, and this is something I have to educate even, I mean, the patients come in and say their doctors just put them on vitamin D. So the reason you need K2 in with your vitamin D and K2, and the way I explain it to them, the K2 is like this. If the vitamin D is a car, K2 is like the steering wheel, and it tells the vitamin D where to go in the body and how to be used. If you do not have K2 in that, then it will calcify the vitamin D in your arteries and cause calcification. Which is crazy. Yes. And so, which is crazy to me that doctors prescribe vitamin D but do not tell them to have K2 with it. So always, never, ever, ever take your vitamin D without your K2. Never. And then another thing I would like to say, if you've had your gallbladder out, vitamin D is a oily vitamin that you have to take. So if you have a gallbladder out, sometimes I have had people that just do not assimilate their vitamin D. And so they might need to be taking it with ox bile with a meal to help them break down their fats. So it's a fatty vitamin. It needs fat. It needs to be having ox bile so that you can absorb it, break it down, and the body can assimilate it. So if you do not have a gallbladder, then I recommend taking your vitamin D when you eat, and then also taking ox bile with that meal. So help to break that down in absorption. Just wanted to say that.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. And for those of you who signed up for the body scan with our doctors, if you have not sent your DNA samples yet, they're waiting. All right. They've done a lot of work to contact you. You want to get back to them. All right. And for those of you, well, I'll just wait and tell it in the house.
Well, and everybody should be contacted. We still got stragglers coming in, but the majority have now been contacted with information on how to do it, how to send the DNA. You're going to get let me explain that real quick. You're going to get a Ziploc bag. You're going to take some hair or fingernails, put it in the bag, write your name on the bag. We need your birthday. We need your blood type if you know it. We need your address and your phone number. It can be on a slip of paper, but that's what's going to be mailed to us. And we need that to run our scan. We're not trying to be nosy. We just need it for our scan.
And your date of birth.
Oh yeah, date of birth. I forgot that. Yeah, date of birth. But we're ready. We've got everything organized. So we're just waiting if you know to send it in, and we are processing you in the order that we receive them. And getting back with you. That's the way. If it comes in soon, then we get it out to you as quick, but in the order it receives, I've got a log as it comes in. And so, and then we're getting back to you. And then Tressie had her first scan. Do you want to say what you learned? I mean, not what you learned, but did you learn things about yourself that you did not know?
Yeah, it was kind of a little unsettling to hear that I had a heart attack a year and a half ago. And if I remembered back a year and a half ago, I went through a severe trauma where I was in a mild state of shock, and it took me a long time to get over that shock. And so that's when it happened. And I would have never known that I had damaged part of the wall of my heart. And so that was very valuable to me. It was also valuable to me to hear that I'm really in pretty good shape. Overall, it made me so happy.
We just need a balance. I mean, don't be scared of it, because, the way I say it is we just need a balance. If we find something, we're going to fix it. Yeah. Don't worry. We're going to fix it. And it's better to get in there and get it fixed and get you balanced and get you back to where, wellness and where your body is in health. And so don't worry about what we're going to find. We're going to fix it, and we're going to be there together.
And that's what you said to me is you're in super good health, and these things are fixable. We can get this taken care of, and then you're going to be really in good shape.
That's right. That's right. These little things. And let me say this too, because I'm seeing it and I just want to warn everybody. Most everybody will have parasites. Do not be scared or shocked when we tell you have worms, and we will tell you how to fix it. So we're seeing threadworms, we're seeing
Lots.
liver flukes, roundworms, and we will help you to be able to fix that. And so don't be scared about that. But you'll feel a lot better when you don't have worms.
That's right. And will you talk about the tincture that you send is going to repair the cell and
Yes, it repairs the energy within that, the frequency within that. So the bottle is, remember when I did the OK sign, and that circle is a cell and it's got electrical charge. And so we want that charge to be between 70 and 90. So cancer will drop it down to 15 and 20. I'm just showing you the difference. So the frequency that we send you in that bottle is just refreshing that treatment every day. You take it 10 drops 2 times a day till it's gone. But what it's doing is every time you're taking that, then the frequency is hitting those areas in your body and causing that cell to hold its charge and to reverse its charge. So it's actually, reversing. I had a good question from somebody today, well, why didn't the frequency medicine, why do I need the supplements if I'm getting the frequency medicine? So the frequency medicine is we're correcting the imbalance in the electrical charge of the cell. But if I'm telling you need, myrrh gum and whatever for your worms, I'm telling you I have to give you this to help that, or black seed oil because we've got an imbalance, and something going on. So there are times I've got to give you supplements for a season, for a little while, to help that. Just like our food is medicine. Let food be thy medicine, and medicine
be thy food.
That's right. That should be our slogan. Let
It
food
is our slogan.
be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. So again, that's that's 2 areas that would be working on. So the frequency is reversing it. If you can think of yourself as a big electrical battery, you get run down. You get that charge, the cells get run down. So what we're doing with that frequency, and when we do the scan, is we're charging you up, putting you on a battery charger. And that's what we're doing. But you know what? The sun does it too. So does grounding. And that's free.
that's awesome. All right. Thank you so much. We love you. And we will see everybody on Tuesday.
Okay, yes.
All right.
Have a great night,
Bye.
everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.